Arvid Lindblad, F1's newest and only recruit heading into the 2026 season. But who is he? What has he done in the past? What will he do in 26? And most importantly, does he have the minerals to stay in F1 for longer than a year? Or hey, knowing what Red Bull's like, maybe even shorter. Let's go and find out. So I will say this year, my job talking about rookies is 10 times easier than a 25 season. Last year we had 6 rookies, technically 7, but then you also had the drama of, well, if you're only counting full season rookies, you drop down to actually 3 proper rookies, and then half of them, Lawson and Colapinto, have started more than a half a season. So it was just all over the place who actually was a rookie and not, considering F1 does just call a rookie someone who hasn't competed in a full F1 season. So technically they all were. I mean, also that technically means Colapinto is still a rookie heading into the 26 season. Again, if he lasts the entire 2026. But as you can tell from that, now knowing it's just Lindblad, yeah, a lot easier. And before we go into the actual racing stats that Lindblad has had, here are a few small things that you should know. So Arvid Lindblad was born on the 8th of August 2007. It really annoys me how close he was to being 08 if he was just 1 year later, making him very much one of the youngest on the grid right now. I mean, 2007, that's 4 years younger than me. He was born in Virginia Water in Surrey, and for anyone who isn't up to date with their British geography, Surrey basically is a county just outside of London, south, southwest and west. And it's basically where all the rich people live. He is 173 centimeters tall, being 5'7", and he drives under the British flag in motorsport. However, he does have heritage going back to Sweden, which is where his dad's side of the family's from, and also Indian heritage on his mother's side, which is actually quite cool because you can see this on some of his helmet designs where you have the British flag, the Swedish flag, and the Indian flag. So for Arvid, he would actually start karting when he was 7 years old, and from this period of his life, his biggest success would come right at the end in 2020 and 2021, where he would go on to win the WSK Master Series, OKJ class, which is just the junior version of the OK class. He would then go on to win the WSK Euro Series in 2021. And 2021 would be a big year for Lindblad, as this would be the year where he would get picked up by the Red Bull Junior Academy and he would start his single-seater journey, where 1 year later he'd get his first chance in the Italian F4 in the 5th round of the championship. But realistically, it was 2023 where we started to see things click for him. He won the Macau F4 Southeast Asia Championship race. He came 4th in the Euro 4 Championship, 3rd in the Italian F4 Championship, and 5th in the F4 UAE Championship. So not too shabby all round. And 2024, he would continue keeping that pace up, where he was actually able to finish 4th in his rookie season in F3, also picking up a few wins here and there. And then finally, finishing off his journey before F1, he would go into the F2 Championship for 2025, again his rookie season, the highest category he had been competing in to date, and he would finish a respectable 6th place with 134 points. Very similar points total to Ollie Behrman, might I add, as well, which is not perfect. But considering he was a rookie and we have seen F2 champions and other champions in other motorsport series come into F1 and struggle, you can never write him off because of that. And also we have seen the opposite, where drivers who haven't actually shined crazy amounts in F3 and F2 have come in to show brilliant pace. And from the backing with him from Red Bull, this would be enough to take that spot technically from Yuki Tsunoda, technically taking Hajar's spot, but Hajar took Tsunoda's spot, so there's a whole spiral from there. Getting the F1 call up for 2026. And this is where things are going to start getting juicy. I can't tell you what's going to happen with Arvid Lindblad from here on out, but that's with good reason. We know in F1, you only get a limited amount of chances throughout your entire career. And especially in Red Bull, you can probably halve those chances again, as there's always someone waiting in the wings to take your spot if you are not performing. We have seen it with Tsunoda, De Vries, Hartley, Verne, the list goes on and on and on, and that's just the Red Bull Academy. But honestly, one thing that might actually help him out is now with Helmut Marko gone, there will be a lot of shakeups at Red Bull, and potentially they'll be a little bit more lenient to drivers like Arvid Lindblad. But maybe it's a bit of a double-edged sword as well, because Helmut Marko was actually the person who spoke to Arvid Lindblad and got him into the Red Bull Junior Academy beforehand. So to be fair, it actually could work out both ways for him. And honestly, for me, I really do hope that he does perform. It's never nice to see someone's dreams come crashing down because they crumbled in F1, and we've seen it time and time again. But for me, for him to keep his spot in F1 for 2027 and onwards, there's a few things that he needs to get right. The first one is he has to be within 3/4, maybe 2/3 if I'm being lenient, to Liam Lawson's points. Liam Lawson also is under a lot of pressure for Red Bull, but that's for different reasons. He did have that Red Bull call-up, he wasn't good enough, got dropped down to Racing Bulls. Arvid Lindblad really needs to be really on the same pace as Liam Lawson. It will be okay if he's not just about there, considering it will be Lawson's technically third season, Lindblad's first, but he definitely needs to be in the fight a lot of the time against Liam Lawson, especially in those head-to-heads. Number two, he can't crash too much. Being a rookie, especially with Red Bull, just keep them off your radar. Don't make too many expenses for Red Bull, especially heading into 2026. He just needs to keep it cool, keep it tidy, and do a half-decent job. And then finally, one last thing he has to do this season is have at least 1 or 2 impressive weekends. And when I say impressive weekends, I'm not talking about Hadjar when he got a podium, or even Lawson getting into the top 5 every now and then. I'm talking about him just getting a few top 7 results. Depending on where Racing Bulls is, maybe that will change here and there if they're a little bit slower or if they're a little bit faster, but he just needs to be on it and show, oh, Lindblad was very fast today, which is what Hadjar did last season, and we've all seen now what can happen, especially at Red Bull, when you do have an impressive first season. And if he does all of that in F1, I have high hopes that he can make it far. But comment down below, does Lindblad impress you enough to be in F1? Does he have the composure to stay in F1 as a very young rookie? And who will win in their head-to-head between Lawson and Lindblad? I think my money still is on Lawson just because he's just got the experience now, but I do think hopefully for Lindblad that it's going to be close. But thank you everyone for watching this video today. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care.